Hello, welcome back to the Yamhill Advocate. I'm Kerry Martell, the editor, publisher of The Advocate, here to bring you the news. Nobody else will. Just nobody else will, and that's abundantly clear today on Veterans Day. You see, that's why I'm wearing my medals today. I only get 2 days out of the year to be able to wear my medals. Today's one of those days. So, as I previously reported, last night, Kristen Stoller announced that she was going to be holding a rally. Let's be abundantly clear here. Ian McDonough, I think is how you pronounce his last name, is a veteran. He's like 75 years old or something, based upon what he said in the Facebook reply to that article. He is the shield, basically the puppet, that Kristen Stoller is using to justify holding a press conference that she wanted to hold anyway about the termination of Superintendent Joe Morlock by the school board that happened the previous day. She does not care what day it is, what event it is, and will literally use a 75-year-old man who probably doesn't have a idea what is going on, okay, and what the group actually is about, as a puppet, as a shield, so that they can have a event that has absolutely nothing to do with honoring servicemen and servicewomen who literally have served this country, many of whom who have died for this country on the one day out of the year that all servicemen are honored, Veterans Day, to appropriate it so that she can advocate for her anti-American, racist nonsense. And let's be clear. Kristen Stoller, Newberg Equity and Education. Newberg Equity and Education. Just make sure that you understood what I said. They are about as anti-American as you can get, okay? Literally having members talk about dismantling and rebuilding America into a racially segregated society. That's anti-American as it gets. Literally talking about the removal of American flags from classrooms, not just talking about it, actually doing it, as demonstrated by the TikTok videos I have published already, archived, published. They try to hide them after I publish them. I already archived them, already republished them. You could see these actual Newberg school classrooms they have removed the American flag from and replaced it with the Black Lives Matter flag, yes, and the transracial flag, because that's what we're doing now in freaking Newberg. They don't care about America. They want to indoctrinate children into their nonsense for, as Kristen Stoller said on video during a Yamhill County Democrat meeting, to change the voting culture of Newberg.
And looking at changing the culture of what voting looks like in Newberg, especially graduated students from the high school that are abroad or at other schools, empowering parents and staff as they go through their process and their special event that will happen before Thanksgiving reasons. But right now it just means that we're also entertaining the idea of how we can completely destroy Dave Brown and maybe, a couple other things.
And also further her agenda to destroy. That's not hyperbole. That is a quote. Destroy Dave Brown. That's what she said. So, let me tell you something. They had tons of people, probably at least 100 people, at this little event in front of the school administration building to hear Mr. because I don't know what he's a doctor of. It's clearly not education, okay? Mr. Morlock, whatever he's, thinks that he is, Mr. Morlock, talk about some nonsense, okay? Talking about how he's here, all the teachers care for all the students, although by his own admittance, he says it's weird to care about some students more than others, referring to the variation of equity that they believe in, which is actually racial segregation. I mean, you can literally go to Jeff McDonough. Ironically enough, Jeff McDonough, I'm sure, has relation to Ian McDonough. Jeff McDonough literally having a literal rant in the secret private Facebook mafia club, okay, Newberg Equity and Education, about how it's justified to give special treatment to other kids based on their ethnicity. That's what a school counselor said who has the last name of McDonough. I assume that there's a relation there. The world can't be that frickin' small, okay? So they are, let's be clear, abundantly clear. They are a racist, anti-American cult. And KATU News decided to give them press coverage on Veterans Day. You know who they didn't give coverage to? They didn't give coverage to the American Legion and the Veterans of Foreign War, who literally 4 Newberg downtown city blocks, which are small city blocks, literally right down the street at the flagpole in the center of town, which they had to have driven past in order to even get to the school administration building in the first damn place. Drove past that and instead went to Kristen Stoller's cult's event. Didn't report on that whatsoever. Not at all. How do I know? Because I was there. I was there. That's how I know that they weren't there. They also weren't at the dinner that the Post put on either for veterans. They weren't at these things. No. On Veterans Day, they were not reporting on anything related to veterans. Instead, they were taking a bunch of people who never served in the military. Never served. Don't know what the meaning of the word service is. And they were advocating their racist bullshit instead. That is what KATU News was doing. And I just want you to be crystal clear that, you know what? I've had a few drinks today. F them all. F them all. Because they are trying to assist in this nonsense. How do you drive past the actual event put on by the actual veterans organizations on Veterans Day? Go to something that is completely unaffiliated with any veteran organization, has nothing to do with Veterans Day, and report on that instead. Especially when that message is anti-American, pro-segregation, racist, because that's what they are. They have endorsed a group that wants to remove American flags from the classrooms and is presently in Newberg schools removing American flags from classrooms. That is why Morlock has been terminated, in my opinion. I don't have the full facts. I don't have secret knowledge of his exact precise. But you know what? I think it probably has a lot to do with the stuff I've been reporting on going on in the district, and that he has done nothing about in the month and a half since I've reported it, since I've sent it to him, since other parents have sent it to him. He's done nothing about it because he's part of it. That's why. Now they used our schools to hold a press conference on Veterans Day to distract away from the actual people that the day is supposed to honor and remember the sacrifices that veterans, especially those veterans who have been severely crippled and died for our country, to distract away. Now, Morlock mentions during it, like, we need to honor veterans. He doesn't believe that, because if he actually believed that, he would not be making a speech on Veterans Day about his own self. About himself. To distract away from what the actual holiday is supposed to be about.
I didn't plan on anything. So first, let me, on this day, since it is, I do, without them seeming like empty words, I want to honor our veterans on this day. We often talk about celebrating, but sometimes we don't think about the fact that many of them have sacrificed all the things they have. So I do want to thank, with a big round of applause from all of you, our veterans, current and past. I also want to acknowledge that this muddy land you're standing on was once lived upon by our Kalapuya and other indigenous peoples. And again, I don't have any prepared remarks, but I do want to thank specifically all of our students who have welcomed me when I ask you those goofy questions in your classroom. What are you doing? I'm coloring. What are you doing? I'm working on history. I've enjoyed each one of you. Every day I get to come in and see you working, welcoming me. Is that dude in the tie? Is that the president? Well, my name is Joe and I'm wearing a suit, so I'm going to go with president. I like that. So thank you to all the students. Our staff is incredible, and I think that that's something that this show of support really does matter. Each teacher, each custodian, each school secretary, I'm going to forget people, so don't get upset with me, counselors, principals, all the folks who show up every single day to support your kids through all of the darkness that happens. It has been a really difficult journey for everybody, right? We have been through pandemic, we've been through fire and then ice. We have come back from some difficult things that happened a few years ago. And so it's really important to remember that each one of you that are out here, we're here to support the children that we have, and our staff does that every single day in the most amazing way. So please don't let this be the last time that you show up for the students who are in these classrooms today and the students who will come in the future. You know, we were able to pass a large capital construction bond, and those dollars will go specifically to support all of your kids in newer facilities, beautiful places for them to learn, beautiful places for our staff to work. And it is important to remember that regardless of what other people say, our schools are open to every single child who walks in the door. And believe it or not, the people who work in those buildings love every child as they walk in the door, no matter who they are. And sometimes it feels weird to support others and more than others, and it's a wild place to be. So I want it to be, sorry, my words are getting a little bit crazy here. I'm overwhelmed by this show of support, but I really hope that you continue to support the schools and every single day, and don't let the messages get you down. You truly are the light, and shining light is how you erase the darkness, okay? That's how you do this. And today you have done that. You have worked in partnership.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
These people do not care about America. They don't care about your kids. They care about themselves and their own narcissistic nonsense. That's what they care about. And KATU News knows this because I've sent them the whole truth about what's going on. I've talked to their people in the newsroom, okay? They are not bringing you the truth. And I have no other logical conclusion other than that they are colluding with them. Just like Andrew, whatever his freaking last name is, I can't remember, I'll put up on screen. This guy is literally a member of Newberg Equity and Education. He's literally a member of it. And he's been doing news articles for the Associated Press that have been regurgitated by a bunch of other news agencies. I've told the Associated Press, I've shown them the proof that he's part of the group that he is reporting on and not disclosing that. He's not disclosing that, and he's reporting on it. You are being lied to, people. The city of Newberg, residents, you are being lied to and deceived for political agenda and purpose. An anti-American, racist, pro-segregation cult has taken over your schools. You need to do something about it. And what you need to do is very simple. Step one, maybe write an email to someone at KATU News and tell them to f*** off. Maybe not f*** is helpful language. Let me be more precise. Tell them that you are aware that they're lying and that you won't watch their programs anymore. That's what you should probably do. Might even want to contact, maybe their actual owning parent company. Not really sure what it is. I'll probably put it up on screen. Contact them and tell them that you're upset that they totally ignored the actual veterans event that was taking place in Newberg, just a couple city blocks away, and they reported on something that had absolutely to do with Veterans Day and served the agenda of a racist cult. How about that? Okay. Second thing that you can do is you can tell the cult members to go fuck off. You could do that. Stop doing business with them. Stop supporting them. Maybe you don't help them no more. Maybe that's a good idea. Okay, Kristen Stoller of Stoller Winery of Chehalem Valley Dance Academy. Maybe you just don't do business with these types of lunatics anymore, and maybe they won't be here no more. Just an idea. Okay, they're taking your money and they're channeling it into this nonsense. Now, I asked, by the way, the Stoller Winery up front if they endorse what Kristen is doing, if they support what she's doing. And you know what they said? They said, she's not a member of our company. Well, it's a family-owned business. That's not the question that I asked you. I asked if you endorse it. I asked if you're giving her money, and they replies that she has nothing to do with the company. Okay? Well, of course she does. She's part of the family. Again, as I mentioned in a previous video, if you can't answer no to whether or not someone is providing you funding, if you can't answer no to whether or not you endorse somebody's activities, the answer is probably yes. The answer is probably yes. That's just a logical conclusion. So that's something that you should know. And all these other groups in town, all these other places, okay? Everything from social goods to that stupid flower shop, okay? Maybe you should probably also let them know what you think about what they're doing and supporting and involved with. Because the money you give to those businesses is being pushed back into advancing the cult's agenda. They donate to it. They allow their stores, their businesses to be used to gather petitions for the agenda, the purpose of the cult. They're part of the cult. They are complicit in it. Okay? So maybe you just don't support that. Just an idea. Now, third thing that you can do. Okay? I have a Facebook group that I have created for people that are willing to be brave, who are willing to be known, to have themselves be known, if you will, to use some of the cult's phrasing, to be known, to let these people, this small group of a couple hundred people in a city population of 30,000 people, the vast majority of which are probably don't endorse the pushing of a racist cult on Veterans Day, of all things, indoctrination of children, grooming them to participate in a drag show so that members of the faculty can throw dollars at that Newberg high school student as he's doing a striptease burlesque show to raise money for the cult's agenda, okay, in Kristen Stoller's dance club that's supposed to be for children. Maybe you don't support this stuff and you want people to know that you don't support it. You want to be organized, you want to be motivated, you want to be involved in recalls and things like that. Join the Facebook group, okay? Now, I can't start a political action committee while owning a newspaper. I can't do that, okay? It's highly unethical, may even be illegal. So I can't create a political action committee. But this is what I can do. I can bring people together who are upset and angry and want to do something. And then I can turn that group over to other people within that community who want to become leaders of it, to form a political action committee that's going to recall city council and the mayor of Newberg, recall the people who are on city board, and are going to support candidates that are going to oppose the cult and its agenda. Because this isn't about partisan politics. This isn't about Democrats versus Republicans, okay? This is all about people that want to dismantle and rebuild America into a segregated society because they're insane, versus everybody else who actually wants America to remain a country. Because that's what's happening here, all right? This is what's going on. Newberg is at the heart of a new district line, a gerrymandered district line for the state of Oregon by the Democratic Party. And that's why they're focusing so much energy on Newberg, because they want to turn it to the Democrat side so they can just continue to control this state, implement whatever policies. They want to make everywhere in Oregon like Portland, because somehow they think this benefits them. It benefits their bottom line dollars, I suppose, okay? But it doesn't benefit the people that actually have to live in these communities. If you want to put an end to this, you want to stop it, you want to do something, if you're mad as hell and you can't take it no more, join the Facebook group. Link is in this video description, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's in the article that you're going to see. Another thing that you can do is you can donate money to the Yamhill Advocate. And while that sounds like, okay, you're just trying to light your pockets. No, I'm not spending this money on my own salary, okay? I'm going to hire additional staff writers to produce more stories about this stuff because nobody else seems to be willing to report it. Nobody else wants to. Even if their politics align with what I'm saying, they're scared, okay? I know I'm cursing. It's Veterans Day. I've had some drinks. I'm pissed off on behalf of literally every person who's had to die for this country, been crippled for this country, for the protections, the freedoms that you enjoy on a daily basis. I get one day out of this year to speak my God mind, and that's this day. And this day, you got to be too if you care about America, okay? Enough of this carry on like your rhetoric, all right? This is serious, okay? Because America can fall just as easily as all the past republics have. It falls when people stop caring to defend the republic. And that's what's taking place right now in our hometown. The very soul of our town is under fire by people who have infiltrated the school, George Fox University, City Council, Rotary Club, everywhere. They have invaded it. They have masqueraded. They've pretended that they're trying to do good things. They're trying to do really bad things. And you got to stop them. And that's what it comes down to, okay? You don't have to believe me on face value. I've got videos. I've got screenshots. I've got hundreds and hundreds of screenshots from their private Facebook group that verify everything I've said. Primary sources. You can not like my language. Fine. But are you going to ignore the overwhelming evidence because you don't like the way that I've criticized other people? Being a veteran, Ian McDonough, and everybody else who thinks that he's beyond reproach, being a veteran does not permit you to engage in treasonous, seditious acts. It does not permit you to do these things. You swore an oath to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And most veterans agree that is a part of the pledge that does not have an expiration date. So if you want to be used as a tool for the cult, that's fine. You can be known as one. Okay? You can be known as one until such time that you publicly renounce the cult. Until then, you will be called out for what you are. Because somebody has to restore the proper frames of reference, or the republic will collapse. Today's Veterans Day. You want to honor it? Step up. Thank you.